Good afternoon on what is a surprisingly mild, bright and sunny day. It is Sunday, January 29th, and I'm in the reading up with a nice hot cup of tea. And a parcel to continue unboxing. So this actually came in two bits. I've got the outer bit and the inner bit, and then inside there are two books, one of which I've already looked at, which is Wicked Fate. The other one is this, which is Lighthearted. Welcome to the magical 80s dream world of Lighthearted. You're a prep, jock, geek, rebel or outcast, like those kids in the Breakfast Club, except you're about to start magic community college. Through play, we'll explore how you grow out of your high school cliques, all while dealing with magical mishaps, college parties, vampires, and worse. Finals. Lighthearted is a complete tabletop role-playing game that uses the language of film and television to reimagine the coming-of-age stories popular in 80s teen movies like Weird Science and 16 Candles, but with a modern fantasy spin. It's set in alternate 1980s with fantasy elements weaved into the most outlandish bits of 80s pop culture. There are fantasy religions mixed in with small culture, dark magic, cold wars, and magical glamours instead of plastic surgery. So what's inside? Become one of 11 archetypes called cliques and play out their coming-of-age stories. Rules to explore how your own self-image clashes with society's expectations. A unique core mechanic that puts the character's emotions front and centre. A narrative magic system that blends neon rainbow magic with the character's emotions. Safety tools to help you address the prejudice inherent in 80s media, so you can build on a better, more hopeful 80s. Setting guide to the neon dream world of Lighthearted. A cinematic adventure that highlights the drama and challenges of Lighthearted, the challenges that Lighthearted has to offer. So, essentially, if you imagine it, I'm going to make the obvious comparison is, okay, in this country, in the UK, we would have, you need a magical school? Right, make it a magical boarding school. Obviously, Hogwarts. In the US, you make it a magical high school, and you make it essentially, or community college, and go from there. Magical university, but a community college, a local college, if you will. I can imagine you doing sort of like a magical version of Community, since that's also set in a community college. But anyway, we open up with basically a little bit of a mooring for a friend of the author's. It's a nice touch, and thank you for everyone who helped them. Take the contents, and this is published by Gallant Knight Games. I've looked at a number of their games, and then we get into essentially an explanation. What is Lighthearted, the players getting started to safety and tone. So we've got the explanation here. Done in nice, and I like the choice of colours. They're kind of matching those of the Rubik's Cube, which is a nice touch. Of course, the danger is, of course, it's going to be back memories of my time at school in the 80s. I wasn't at community college in the 80s. I didn't go to college until the 90s. So when I was an adult. So how to play Lighthearted? So you've got nice. Again, the choice of iconic references there with the Walkman. The first real device to let you enjoy music privately if you went about. And then we've got discussion mentioned here of the emotion spectrum, which you'll be moving up and down or along, back and forth as the events of each scenario plays out. So we also have a discussion of magic and emotions, conflict, so on, opposed roles, who's in control, the effect of those, and losing control, partner, stress, this all plays into your emotions. And then the types of conditions that you can suffer. Now we get onto magic, so we literally have just a magical party. And we have the 7 colours of magic, and we're basically matching those with the colours of the rainbow. So discussion of that, then we get onto character creation, quite a way into the book. But essentially, what up to that point, you've been explaining sort of the basic tenets of the game, the basic ideas, and how it plays. Essentially, here's how to make a character and fit it into the clique that you want. And you have a trait array, so that you are assigning die types. Name, culture, pronoun, styles, that sort of thing are all there for you to create as part of your character. A guide to the character sheet, highlights from different areas. Always a good point to include if you have a character sheet which is unfamiliar to your players. You know, once you've played one role-playing game, or you played a few role-playing games, you kind of know your way around a character sheet, unless you're looking for something very specific that is particular to a role-playing game. In this, it does have a bit more to it, essentially, with that emotion track going across the top there. So what we've got, cliques include preps, jocks, rebels, geeks, outcasts, and then we've got a list of alternative cliques as well. Rising Star, Super Gator. So essentially, these are strengths, or something like just. These are further cliques. So they're essentially alternatives on takes upon the previous ones that have been presented. So Rising Star is like a prep, surfer or skater as a jock. Gearhead and a rebel. Basically spending most of its time in the machine shop. Paranologist, geek. Paranologist, I presume, is someone is obsessed with all things that go in the night. Oh, there we go. Tortured artist, outcast, of course. And then the new kid. And then, so the player characters are also chosen. They are tied to one of the 4 essentially avatars or beings that provide magic. So we've got Celestial, Traveller, Mage and Warrior there. And they provide aspects and benefits in addition. Then we've got a list of sample bonds. Full explanations of those. And a nice image of sort of like classic kind of high school, American high school. Which is all big and open. I mean, at schools I went to kind of never had that kind of space. We don't generally have that kind of space in our schools because we've got our schools tend to be a bit more compact. Then how characters grow, spending experience, and so on. Advanced chosen abilities. That's what we've got in here. Basically, really nice, decent, vibrant illustrators. Really like these, capturing the flavour of the period again, and it's sort of crossover with magic. And then the game master, how to run the game, or the director, I should say, how to play the director, complete with a boombox. Director's agenda is portray a neon-soaked 1987 full of drama and magic. Make the characters' relationships and cliques matter. Play to find out what happens. And essentially, here's a guide to what the director does in play. So we've got a discussion of non-primary characters, So antagonists, bonds, secondary characters, tertiary characters. Essentially the cast, the types of cast that the director will be using. How to make a monster. Add magical weirdness. And you're never far away from magical weirdness if you're going to add a weird mushroom. And so it's looking at different types of magic. You know, we have supernaturally transmitted diseases. Thaumaturgy. An example of thaumaturgy. Thaumaturgical spells. How to set scenes. So on types of scene. Even nice addition of a mixtape, and if you ever you know, looking at that, going with the tape coming out of the bottom there, you're going, where's my pencil? I kind of need that to reel that in. And then we get on to the lighthearted setting, including with a school mascot. And the fact that, you know, it's taking place on a neon dream world. Locations: Beaumont University, El Camino Community College of Magic and Technology. And various locations like the Desk Bunker, Debbie's Diner, and so on. And just history of the setting, and how, you know, how that will involve the characters, dealing with the darkness, essentially the darker side of the setting, and then we get on to cinematic adventures at the end. With the scenario, with thaumaturgy, as opposed to weird science. We even have a science and thaumaturgy club. And then that's it. We're fairly short, but we've got an appendix at the back with worksheet for, you know, basically adding elements to the setting, character creation walkthrough, rules reference for the director, and that's it. That is Lighthearted, published by Gallant Knight Games. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you see me out here with a parcel containing a book or game, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do hit that subscribe button down below. In the meantime, thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. Be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.